Okay.
Good morning, world. This is Amar from Singapore, and we are yet again with a fresh episode to address the general issues of our life as we have been attempting in our previous episodes. Today, our topic is sustainability. Sustainability, as a few may understand, it as the ability to sustain. That means we are already in a very fixed situation that we have to maintain the resources that we have to last as long as possible to go through this pandemic situation, as well to normalize that we used to be. It's very difficult with few resources to have the same lifestyle. We have to cut down on many things, many things to be precise. To know more about this, again, we have three panelists today. Dr. Raji, who is a founder of MAST, Dr. Ram, founder of ACE International, and Mr. Arun Sharma, a life coach and author. So to begin with, I would like Dr. Raji to start with. Dr. Raji, tell us more about on sustainability. Sorry, sustainability.
Thank you, Amar. Give me a moment, please. Share. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Raji Srinivasan from Masters Academy of Speech and Training. I'm the managing director and founder of this institution. I've been here for quite some time. And today, our topic of discussion is sustainability development goals. Well, what is this sustainability? If we look at it, we have to be very clear about what is this? For who is this, first of all? Why is this sustainability? Is it for an individual? Is it for an organization? These are all the normal kinds of doubt that people do get the moment when they hear about sustainability. And of course, I can understand the listeners, the viewers, if they think, what's sustainability? What's this new term around the market? Can't follow. Is it something new that's coined newly? Is it about a new concept? For these people, here it is. Sustainability is the process of living within the limits of available physical, natural, and social resources in ways that allow the living systems in which humans are embedded to thrive in perpetuity. Perpetuity is nothing but the state or quality of lasting forever. It is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Sounds familiar? It's as simple as this. Simply, you decide to completely exploit the natural resources that God has given you today. You are doing a disservice to our future generation. That's all. This is the basic principle of sustainability. You do not exploit and completely suck everything that's available, whether it be natural resources or whether it be whatever. If we have decided to do that, that means we are only bothered about ourselves. Ourselves as in ourselves, individuals, our current society, and so on and so forth. What's the point of you leaving millions and billions for your children when they cannot even breathe? They cannot even breathe decent air. You just know what happened during the COVID-19, right? So if you're not allowed to breathe oxygen, what is the point of you having millions and billions? You want each and every household in the same, maybe from now down the lane by 20 years or 30 years, do you want each and every household to have about 6 to 7 oxygen cylinders per day instead of having trees around them? Think about it. And another thing is, we just asked earlier, what is sustainability? I've answered this. For who is this sustainability? Why is this sustainability? Is it for an individual? Is it for an organization? Of course, sustainability is for everybody, everybody. From the child that is born today, ending up in the senior-most grandpa who has bid goodbye to the world. You would have thought, what is the point of a very simple thing like instead of burial, we do cremation. You know something? This is also root of sustainability, because like we don't leave any other kind of prints in this world that might damage our future generation. This is the very simple principle. Then what is the foundation of sustainability? The foundation of sustainability itself is environment, economy, and society. What is this? Environment, I have explained, of course, you understand. Very simple thing like our entire cosmos, our entire ecosystem is in our hands. If we decide to be hanky-panky with that, or if we decide to exploit it, that's the end of it. You are actually shaking one pillar of sustainability. Economic sustainability and social sustainability, I'll come to that shortly. Sustainability has got something called development goals as informed by UN, and UN does not need to necessarily inform it to us. Our own Indian race, especially the oldest generations, have been following it. Environmental sustainability, ecological integrity. Very simple. In olden days in villages, you know that they used cow dung, they used wood, whatever it is, for their fuel. What do you think it is? They were doing this because they were actually concerned about their environment. Now today, what have we done? We have pushed even the tiniest hamlets into waiting for gas cylinders when wood is plentifully available at their backyard. Why? You and I push the gas cylinder as the epitome of fashion. Gas cylinder in a city has become a necessary evil. But gas cylinder in a place like a very tiny village where all natural resources are available is a fashion statement which we have pushed into their minds. And we have pushed women into thinking that if we don't use gas cylinder, then they are being degraded in the villages. Men folk and women folk can jointly think about it and do something about it if they are in the villages where natural resources are available. If it is a responsibility of only one gender, it will naturally be an issue. It should be a shared responsibility. Coming to economic sustainability, human communities have to maintain independence. They have to have access to their resources. What's this? Every country, every citizen should have free access to the resources available within that country without begging or borrowing from another place. First of all, self-sustainability is needed. Self-sufficiency is needed. On top of it, you can have borrowed help. Then social sustainability. Social sustainability is the human rights to be ensured. No discrimination on the basis of gender, race, caste, creed, color, whatever. So it's very deep. Sustainability, the term is very deep. Okay, what are the 17 SDGs goals, the sustainability goals? I'm not going to go through everything. It's just here for you to understand. No poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth. Now I see we have a better understanding called what is sustainability. No poverty is a utopian state, everybody's dream. Zero hunger again is an utopian state. But please remember that I do not know whether no poverty can be achieved by individuals, by individual effort. But zero hunger can be achieved. Very simple. If every person with the means for food has decided to pave way for 2 or 3 more people who have hunger, we can temporarily eliminate the fact called hunger. Slowly, we can build them up some resources from which they can earn their own food. Good health and well-being, quality education is most important. Why quality education? What is quality education? Quality education is something that pushes you not to throw trash on the ground, not to waste water, not to waste electricity, not to do whatsoever, even when someone else is not watching you. Quality education comes from within. It is how you have decided to refine yourself. Of course, then reduced inequality, I've already explained, gender inequality, race inequality, whatsoever. Then sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production. What is this responsible consumption and production? Just because it is freely available, for example, simple example, you decide to go to your backyard. If you happen to have a banana tree, you decide to go to your backyard and you decided to cut the banana tree's leaves, say, for example, for serving dinner, whatever. The moment you cut, you realize that you have cut actually some extra leaves. After all, our banana tree, right? That extra leaf can be thrown or something else. No, 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 no. There starts responsible consumption. Then water. I'm paying the water bill. What's wrong if I open my tap and keep it 24/7? It is wrong because water is a resource that cannot be replenished automatically. Again, you are using aerosol, climate is affected, and so on and so forth. Life below water, life on land, everything goes hand in hand when it comes to sustainability goals and partnerships to achieve the goal. How to have partnerships to achieve the goal. For example, two warring countries decide to put it down in writing that they will not go for war anymore, and then they stand by that. Military expenditure is reduced by 75%. That 75% can be channelized into our goal 1, goal 2, goal 3, correct? So this is how the sustainability goals are also interconnected. Sustainability improves the quality of our lives, protects ecosystem, preserves natural resources for future generations. But before I go further, only 1 or 2 points I want to add. You will be thinking, for who is this? Who's going to understand? Is sustainability development goals for a 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 70-year-old, 25, 30-year-old? No, it's for a 2-year-old actually. 1-year-old if possible, if they can hear. Singapore has actually started in this, and without we realizing it, it has reaped the correct right benefits. I'll give you a very tiny example. Like several years ago, not now, about 23 years ago, my kindergarten going child came back home and scolded me and said, "Mom, can you right now stop the tap?" I said, "I'm working." "No, you are not allowed to wash the vegetables, or you're not allowed to wash your vessels under running water," she said. Sustainability goal achieved there in a 4-year-old daughter. Okay. It's not because of me. Government has taken effort and the school has implemented it. Next, after about 2-3 years, I used aerosol spray at home to make my house look good, feel good. Again, my daughter came, put front foot forward and said, "No, you are not allowed to use any aerosols. You know what's in the fridge? Okay, that's a necessary evil. That's in this. And this is going to affect the climate, environment. You guys do not need to leave me millions." When she spoke this, she was 7-year-old. "You guys need not leave me millions. As long as you leave this entire globe intact for us, that's more than enough. We can live and earn." And I was surprised to know that even my friends' children of that age group said the same thing in various languages to their household. So what we understand is sustainability goal is possible to be implemented. And thank you very much for listening. I just want to highlight this to you all again. What is sustainable? The word sustenance itself, you know, what does it mean? The moment we talk about sustainability, the purpose of today's presentation is not to show off what all we know, but to make each and every person think. If possible, show this video to your children, your young children, whoever can understand a little bit of English, you can show it to them, or you translate it into your regional languages, into your mother tongue, whatever, because this is how we can serve the entire globe. Please believe me, down the lane, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years later, whether we are alive or not, our future generation is going to thank us. Thank you very much.
You are in mute.
Dr. Raji, your analysis is so scaring. I'm afraid to take a flight next time because flights are the most dangerous things on this earth humans have found as of today. For every small thing, people take flights, and flights emit a lot of pollution and it is harming our ozone layer. So, as you said, that cow dung was used as a resource for gas. So, we have to find a new way of flying and reaching places.
Today, solar panel is used. Today, biogas, like, what is
But
that
it
called?
is, I
Biogas is
know,
also used.
biofuel.
Biofuel, yeah.
Yeah. So, if you're talking about the next generations, I really live it on nature. How will the next generation survive? But we are doing a very, very big harm to the next generation.
Thank you.
Because you see people go to the printer's shop and ask them to print 500 pages for saving trees, on the Earth Day campaign.
Yeah.
So this is very ironical that we have to see the situation. So coming with a very serious subject of now, how do we maintain uh, the sense in people that hey, use less resources, and also now since technology age we are in, we can use digital way of conveying things. No need to travel, just be on Zoom and connect with people. So Dr. Ram, what's your insight on this?
Good morning, all. Am I audible? Thank you. It's very nice to hear about this topic, especially sustainability. Everybody wanted to be sustainable in the environment. As of now, the COVID-19 induced a lot of difficulties, challenges, and the people are thinking how to overcome and get the normal life like pre-COVID condition. Every home, every person, every place, they are praying for this kind of attitude. How do they able to lead the normal life? So today the topic just I cover with a small presentation, which will engage you. Similar like Dr. Rajesh Srinivasan just she shared about the things that would be a kind of model for each and everyone. How do they able to embrace the opportunity by keeping the sustainable environment for them? So it is a small recapitulation of sustainability, what we know and what we don't know. Myself, Dr. B. Ramanathan, I am the founder and managing director of ACE International Private Limited, Singapore. ACE itself aspiring community for excellence, and we have to think for global. That's why ACE International is there. Sustainability, when we are thinking how do the how much it is providing the thought-provoking sense into the mind. It is a sustainable environment, or it is the inclusive environment, it is the social concern, it is the humanity oriented subject, or it is making the people to educate for creating the sustainable environment for all. As rightly pointed out by Dr. Raji, we have to leave the earth behind for the next generation. So that is the duty, and that is the ultimate concept when we want to keep ourselves fit to the environment, and also making the environment fit to for everyone. That is the important thing. When we are speaking about the economic development, infrastructure development, our country's progress, whatever the way, we must need to keep an eye on sustainability. The sustainable world is for our goal. How do we able to think about that? How do we able to encompass it? That is the very important question in front of us. We need to educate the young generation. We need to educate the people who are making the nonsense thing in the environment. So we have to create the way how to make the compliance and regulation in order to control the environment, which are very sustainable for each and everyone. That is the ideology. We can conduct a lot of programs on this particular topic to educate and encourage the people to involve for this kind of goals. According to the United Nations, they have designed already. Dr. Raji mentioned in her slides, as well as the talk. Sustainable development goals. There are 17 goals categorized under this particular sense of thing to transform our world into the better world. So we have to embrace all these things, few of things like no poverty, life underwater, life on land, or gender equality. That is also very important thing, and sustainable and creating good communities in the condition. That is also very, very important. We have to fight for the climatic change. These are all the important things. Most important thing is the partnership for the goals is to achieve. Sometimes we cannot able to do it, so we need to find out some right partner, how to make ourselves to do the things right and in a right manner. Sustainable business. When we are talking about the business, there are four major categories we need to consider. Environmental categories, which are relating to the environment, what we are doing, what we are producing, what we are making the impact on the environment. That is very, very concern kind of thing. Another one is the social commitments, contributions. We need to be a good civilized person to commit and contribute the betterment of the social transformation, which are not eradicating any kind of existing status. That is very, very important. And the governance, when coming to speak about the governance, self-governance, organizational governance, corporate governance, or the government who are mediating through their implementations, effective governance. We have to consider how to make the sustainability for the business, which are making the condition of the community as well as the society very normal. And the economic development. Now, this is the digital era. We need to adopt and apply many digital solutions. At the same time, because of the modernization in the environment, we are creating lot of products, lot of lifestyle changes, but we must need to embrace how to sustain the environment with the correct activities adapted for the business. The business sustainability movements, we must need to think few words. Recycling, that is also one of the waste management in the environment. We must need to go for the zero waste production. That is very, very important. And waste minimization, because in Singapore also, they are effectively making the people how to adopt and apply various kind of recycling materials, making the environment clean as well as keeping tidy. Especially the Semakau Island, the land refilling of the waste, they wanted to extend the period for a little more because they are expecting it is going to finish off by 2035. In order to minimize the waste, we can minimize the land refilling kind of attitude. So we can extend the lifetime for that Semakau Island to get more period for land refilling. So that is the idea. You have to think and prosper well for your activities. Like zero emission, carbon emission is making the global warming as of now. So we must need to think how to reduce the carbon emission, how to make the environment with the green energy sources. That is also very important. Now everywhere they are talking about the green energy adoption. That is creating the green energy oriented economy. Rightly pointed out, we have to use the resource and resources effectively. It should not be able to eradicate any kind of balance, making the condition imbalance. That's very important. So many ways we can talk about that. Because of the time concern, I can't able to elaborate more, but it is the kind of way how to make the circular economy adapting with the necessary categories as well as features to go for the sustainability in the movements. Especially the governance. Now we are very much depending on the corporate companies who are the backbone supporters for the government. Without corporates involvement, there is no business existing, as well as the condition of corporate social responsibility. They are contributing a lot for the betterment of the people in the society. So the government is allowing them to plug and play with the right attitude in the right manner for serving to the right people. That is the necessary thing. There are seven global trend sets we have to think. Better investor stewardship, board quality and the composition, which are involving for the decision making and creating the new innovations, intellectual property rights to adapt and apply for the human consumption. And the compensation, how do they able to compensate with the environment with the right products and solutions? activist investing. There are many people who are coming to serve for the country, but they have to require some kind of support, solid support from this kind of corporate governance environment. Environmental, social, and governance risk factors need to be identified. If you don't identify the risk to eradicate, the risk will take over on you. That's the condition. We must need to think about the way how to reduce the risk. Cyber security, as already I mentioned, the digitalization is creating lot of storage on the cloud. We must need to secure those kind of data sources as well as other intellectual property holding things and the company's important files or any other secure news. That is the thing we must need to, because everywhere they're threatening for the hackers. So that is the way we have to protect on the digital sources. Human capital, now it is the battle between the human resources, between the machine resources. How do we eradicate all these kind of problems which are getting involved by the machine resources in the environment? Now industry 4.0 is playing a great role for transforming the workplaces to adapt with the digital source kind of supports. We must need to think about that. There are some overview for global trends, creating the focus for especially the developments in the sustainable environment, increasing the importance of the corporate who are doing the great values and serving better for the noted purposes what they wanted to adapt and apply. Better board oversight decision is very, very important for creating the values. And we have to expand our diversity to serve for the many people, including with the ethnicity as well as racial kind of divergence. That is very, very important. Companies who are facing, there are a lot of wider forms of activism. We must need to address the correct way how to engage and entertain those kind of rational things which are very, very best for the community. The business in society, what is that? So we are living in a society. We need a lot of stakeholders who can able to come and involve with this kind of ecosystem. Social enterprises are doing the great job, and the corporate companies who are providing the corporate social responsibility by the way of creating a lot of projects and sourcing the funds for that, and they are making the involvement along with the non-governmental organizations or non-profit organizations. Government is encouraging this kind of attitude among these people. So when they are talking about the quality of management, which are going to make certain kind of values, and they are transforming the impact in the society. So we must need to engage all these stakeholders who are doing the great job, like NGO, local communities, the employees who are willing to support for a voluntary activity. Dr. Raji and Arun Sharma, they are doing the great job by way of involving with the social contributions, social commitments. We need to plan for it. Then only we can make the sustainable, viable environment for each and everyone who can live and lead happily. The another one is business incubation, because there are new startups who are willing to establish with their products, services, or any kind of concept solutions, something. We must need to think how do they able to start their ambitions by the way of establishing a firm, establishing an enterprise, establishing a company like that. So we must need to provide some kind of incubation space where they can come and incubate themselves and getting the help from some mentors, coaches, or any kind of training environment. We can connect with the different people who can able to support for their needs. That is the way we have to create a lot of enterprise development cell, and we can connect to the academy, the universities, colleges, institutions, research centers. So we can able to get the institute industry partnerships to put together. The values can be exchanged and they can incubate the company to survive well and maybe supporting well for the society. The startup ecosystem is a must one. We must need to think. Nowadays, everybody wanted to create their own enterprises. They want to play well along with the SMEs and corporate environment. And these people also irreversibly, they are looking for the new startups who can take the role and support for the business ecosystem. That's why we must need to think about it. There are many investors like angel investors, venture capitalists, series AB kind of supporting investors. Government is providing seeding grants. So we must need to think about all these components in the ecosystem, how to establish the startup companies to survive and support for the society. Education for the environmental sustainability, as rightly pointed out, without concern about the environment, the ecosystem, we cannot able to survive in the long run. We are living in a bad environment. It is also affecting our life and the future life of our generation. That is the duty bound for everyone. We must need to think and how to adopt the better prosperity for sustaining the environmental conditions. The next one is global sustainable academic and environment, academic development. There are three important segments we need to keep in mind and considering for our commitments to do the necessary activities. Education, where the knowledge dissemination, ethical things or cultural values are getting engaged with the students, because they are preparing themselves to groom the skills to get ready for the future workforces. If you don't consider to provide the right education in the right manner, then it is the kind of opportunity for us we are missing. So we need to use that opportunity in the right manner, how to groom the particular skill sets which are very, very relevant and necessary for the current working environment. That is important. And the research, that the second one, technology development, knowledge creation, innovation, prototype or product development, intellectual property rights are getting raised. And there are many people who wanted to invest for this kind of research and development from the company side, from the government side. And how do we able to engage all these activities to create the better innovation or better products which are going to serve for the people? Now the vaccine is one of the better innovation. This is the only solution everybody is believing. Once vaccinated, they are going to um, they are going to survive better against of this COVID-19 infection. So that is the way we must need to embrace the research and development according to the critical condition and making some kind of solution to solve the problems. Entrepreneurship, always their mindset is wealth creation. They are using all these knowledge, explorations and exploitations. That is the way they are investing the money and create the new ecosystem in the business environment and also connecting to the society as well as the community of the people. Mindset is very important. Mindfulness is the condition the people who wanted to appreciate. Sustainability of your mindset, that is very, very important. We must need to have some kind of perspectives, the ideas towards with globalization from the local environment. That is very, very important. When you are living in a local environment, but your mindset is making the connection towards the global personality or global perspectiveness, you will be greatly appreciated or admired your values. That is the way the value the transformation is creating the person who can able to develop good personalities, good professional commitments, contributions, kind of support. That is the way we have to think and how do we able to empower ourselves or along with the community which are supporting for that opportunity. And equity and justice, that is also very important. We need to make each and everyone is very common for all kind of activities to do in the society. And open-mindedness and positive mindedness also very important. Need to be positive is creating a lot of good habits for the people. That is developing the great attitude for the people to lift up in their life. Finally, the sustainable development is the goal set. Simply said, we have to engage the people who can able to support for each other, fellow members in the society who are having with the poverty or hunger. We need to give some kind of support in the condition. That is the way you can able to create the equalized environment. Everyone can able to live very supportive as well as stronger manner. Prosperity, we have to ensure all the prosperous or fulfilling kind of lifestyles or life engagements. That is the harmony, racial harmony, religious harmony, community oriented supports, everything that would be the condition creating the new nature of environment for the people. Peacefulness, foster your peacefulness for making the inclusive societies. We need to include all the community to come and do the necessary right things for the community to develop into the next level. Partnership, rightly pointed out already. Dr. Raj also mentioned, if you don't have your capacity to withstand, you can able to get the support from other partners or other community members. That is the way here in the grassroots associations and many more social activities, social enterprise activities. We are also planning for future one activity along with the support of non-governmental organizations to serve better for the people. That is the way you have to connect with the right people to collaborate or join venture for doing some great activities. Planet to protect the planets, because we are living in the planet. We cannot eradicate or take away from the planet with us, but we have to leave the earth, Mother Earth, for the people who can live and live better. That is the way we need to think and prosper well in our mindset about the sustainable development. Thank you so much for patiently listening towards our speech, and I hope it is going to make you to feel happy and commit with the right things to the community to develop further. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ram. This was very descriptive, and I would like the audience to connect Dr. Ram for his because it was too much to get into with such a small time. And talking about, I was a bit focused on the entrepreneurship knowledge exploitation. There is a ATM room with 2 air conditions and 4 tube lights, but the digital screen says, please don't take out the receipt to save the environment. So we have to first educate our entrepreneurs to first apply. It is just like people with cars say, I don't leave a carbon footprint, I drive everywhere. So putting all this theory that Dr. Raji and Dr. Ram have presented, practicing it is super difficult. So I would give the difficult question to Mr. Arun. Practicing what all Dr. Raji and Dr. Ram said, because in 2019, as I remember, I was mentioning about the flights, there was a term called plane shame. People who take flights and who have a privilege saying, oh, I have so much mileage, I have so many miles of flying. They had a calculator of how many ice caps have you melted on Earth by flying. So practicing this difficult term of sustainability, educating our corporates and implying and applying in the daily life is more important than all the theoretical part. So please give us some advice on applying these factors.
Amar, this world preaches a lot, practices seldom. Now, let me be quite blunt at the outset. The biggest cause of imbalance in the whole world is non-vegetarianism. Non-vegetarian people have caused the biggest suffering to this mankind. They 1 kilo of vegetarian meat consumes probably 8 liters of water, probably consumes food for 8 people. When you feed a chicken food for 8 people, then you have 1 chicken. And so what sustainability are we talking about? What policies are we talking about? People sitting in ivory tower, they should not be talking about these all policies and all. These are all humbug. Nothing is going to happen. Because you see, there have been many research papers on this non-vegetarianism. They have caused the maximum harm to this world. If there is poverty in this world, you know one biggest reason for the poverty in this world? Non-vegetarian people. They have eaten food for 8 people. They are eating 8 times more than they are supposed to eat. They are drinking more water. Their chickens are drinking water. You know, they are cutting forests. They are causing, insensitivity to animals. So let us start from there. Secondly, in ancient time, you remember, we used to worship rivers. We used to worship mountains. We used to worship trees. Forget cutting trees. We were worshipping trees. From there, where have we come? We have polluted rivers. We have eradicated mountains. We have created homes on the mountain. And we have cut all the trees. And then we are talking about sustainability. We are doing just the reverse. We are very theoretical. We are not at all practical. You see, sustainability simply means that for plant kingdom, for animal kingdom, for the nature, and for human, there should be a coexistence. That's all. Everything should coexist in this world. But no, we are taking up the jungles. That is not meant for human. That is meant for animal. No, where will the animal go? Where is the sustainability? There is nothing. So you are eradicating the trees. You are removing the animals. You are diverting the rivers. You are playing fire with the mountains. And then you complain about floods. You complain about earthquakes. All this will happen. Nature has its own way to balance. Human being has disrupted animal kingdom. Human being has disrupted plant kingdom. Human being has been, disrupting mountains, rivers, lakes, and ozone layers also. We know all this. It's not that humans are not aware of it. We know. For thousands of years, it has been known to us, but yet we are doing it. And so we are the reason for disturbing the sustainability. Human being is the main cause. Everybody else is in line. You see, now, what will happen now? So, divine has to intervene now. Divine has to intervene and establish equality. So how will it happen? By injecting COVID. Now when COVID has come in, now balance has come back. More sustainability is there. Nature is thriving. Rivers are getting cleaner. Ozone layer is, getting improved. Animals are taking respite because now people are more toward vegetarianism. Okay. So divine has its own way to create a balance because human being was irresponsible. So divine had to intervene and bring in COVID to create a balance. So now you see forests are thriving. A lot of trees have come up because there was no cutting in last few months. Rivers, all the rivers in India, without spending any money, all the rivers have become clean. Some people from Punjab can see Himalayas. They can see the sunrise on Himalaya. So you look at that. So there is no more pollution. So through COVID, whatever was possible has happened. The only harm it has caused is caused to the human being because they were the culprits. And then human being, it does not stop here by having non-vegetarian, by disturbing the ecology. Look at GMO, genetically modified organism. No, they have crossed all limits. You are creating disease. You are inventing disease. You are inventing all kinds of mixing this with that. Nature has given you fruits. Let us have that fruit. No, I want to disturb it and make it bigger, make it more beautiful, make it more colorful, make it more valuable and all that. As a result, what happens is pharma companies will be thriving. You'll have to go for you need more hospitals in this world. You need more doctors in this world. You need more medicines in this world. So we are trying to create imbalance. All kinds of, man's nature has enough for man's need, but nature does not have enough for man's greed. Man has entered into the territory of greed. So if we become so greedy, we are disturbing the nature. And the way we are disturbing the nature, there is no stop, and we will suffer more and more. In times to come, probably the suffering will be even more than this. You see, everything has been given to us free of cost. Sunlight is free, water is free, oxygen is free, everything is free. Now, what are you doing? You're disturbing everything. Oxygen is free, you're cutting the trees. Water is free, you're polluting the rivers. So whatever is free, you're disturbing the balance. God has given you everything free. You enjoy life, let other animals live. No. A tiger has to live in a forest. No, I will acquire the forest and do some projects there. Where will the tiger go? The poor chap has to come in to the city and kill people. There is no other. So it's not tiger's fault. Animals are not at fault. It is the human being who has created all this. High carbon footprint. We know the reason. As you rightly said, you're taking a flight and you're whole day you're driving. In some responsible countries, some citizens, they go around in cycles. So there are the greenhouse impact is there. Then your global warming, all these things are happening. We never heard these words, when we were children, or probably 50 or 100 years ago, nobody knew these words. All these words are very new. Global warming and all this. More industrialization which has taken place, more harm to the economy, more harm to environment has taken place. All I would like to say, if human being becomes more responsible, if we go back to roots, we start, again, worshipping mountains, trees, animals. Forget killing animals and eating animals. We were worshipping animals. If you know, all our previous 10 avatars have been animals. Fish avatar and whatnot, tortoise and all that. So we were praying them, we were worshipping them, we were keeping them in temples. And today we are killing them, we are eating them. And then we are talking about sustainability. So what I urge this humanity to be a little more sensible. Otherwise, right now we have got a slap by way of COVID. In future, something more serious will happen, something more disastrous will happen. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Arun, you reminded me of an article I read very recently that some tribal community in Africa, they pray to the nature. They pray a tree before cutting a tree, saying that they tell the tree that, hey, I have no bed at home. I will cut you and I'll make a bed so that my children can sleep without the snakes interfering their sleep. They take the permission of the tree and then they use the tree.
Amar,
And yes.
if I may interrupt, just one line only I want to add. Not only that African community, any of the Vedas, Puranas, short stories will tell you this. In according to Sanatana Dharma Sastras, it is highlighted, reiterated that even if you are picking flowers from the tree for prayer, you are supposed to pray to the tree because the flowers are all trees gifts to you. And if you have to pick up a leaf from for example, from the Vilva tree, you have to worship before that and do. And there are specific timings you are not even until date we don't do that. Specific times you are not allowed to cut tree or pick up tree or whatever it is. In the evenings, generally people are completely discouraged from cutting trees or picking flowers or even picking leaves or whatever it is. They have a time from Brahma Muhurta, say the early morning 3:30 in those days, and maybe until morning 7, 8 something. But when the sun is in the middle of the sky, you try to do that. It's what is called, it is banned. So though they had classified it, not they, actually we had classified it as Shastra and something that is followed by all the priests and Panditji, which is not true. It is all a decent, direct worship to nature, that's all.
No, correct. It is also documented, as I was mentioning, that some foreigner did not believe, some Westerner did not believe in the African concept. He spat in a river. He said, "What's this? This is made for us." But that river started drying, and the villagers had difficulty for drinking water. Then they went to the river. They prayed to the river that, please forgive this Westerner, that he has insulted you. Please give us water for our survival. And it appeared. There are many such stories that dams were created and how people started dying because they did not take permission of the river to create a dam, and how they did not take permission of the crocodiles of certain lake to start the industry. So they asked the creatures, they asked the plants, they asked the rivers. As well, I remember my grandparents used to tell that, kindly uh, don't urinate at night under any tree, even if you're outside. And I was wondering, why should not I urinate? I mean, urine water is good for plants. But they said, yes, but in the daytime, but in the night time, kindly clap and pray to the tree that, sorry, I am peeing. I have no other choice. Kindly don't curse me for anything. So I don't know. This has a science behind this. So sustainability is nothing and nothing but respecting nature, coexistence, as Mr. Arun said.
I'd like to add here,
And
Amar, if my income is say $5,000, and if I spend $8,000 every month, so normally I'll have to borrow money. I'll have to take loan. There's no choice. And tomorrow, if I die, what will happen? Who will repay that loan? My son will repay. So this is exactly what we are doing with the nature. You are consuming more than you are entitled. And you are going to leave. What are you going to leave? What legacy are you leaving for your children? They will be suffering. They'll be cursing you. So this is what we are doing with our children. So you are consuming more than you are entitled.
so this was a very eye-opening session on sustainability. So I urge people not to abuse nature, not to abuse animals, and definitely keep as simple as to yourself. This way we can live few more centuries to our we call today's generation, we call Gen Z. So already we are at the Z of the 26th alphabet of English. I think we are born in Gen X, Gen Y, and now Gen Z. So to have the new alphabetical order for human race, kindly respect nature.
As you have for
So
COVID Delta, you'll have Zen Delta also. I mean,
so that's all from us from today, and hope this gives some sense of belonging to the earth and respecting earth, and hope it even if a little effort from everybody will make our effort of this message meaningful. So thank you everybody. Thank you for joining us, and kindly like, share, subscribe, and comment. Till then, we will come up with a new mind-boggling topic. Until then, goodbye. See you. Thank you.